Hello everyone, I'm Andy CancerJourney, and this is my fertility battle after cancer vlog. Welcome back, or just welcome if you're new to the vlog. If you are new to the vlog, then I suggest going to the end of the video and there'll be a link for the full playlist. And if you watch it from the beginning, I think that you'll take more from it. Also, if I could ask you to be so kind as to subscribe and change the little bell notification to all, so then you get updated of whenever I upload a video, you'll get notified. I personally would be so grateful for the help and the support to get my videos out to a wider audience, help more people, and try and create a bit of a community here. With all that being said, let's get into the video. So in the last video I sort of talked a bit about the whole pregnancy thing again and how mind-blowing it was and scary as well. Kind of tried to get across how not talking about these things, it's not going to do you any favours. Trust me. So the pregnancy went really well, and I was personally doing everything I could to try and bond with the baby. I'd actually read in a book that you can talk to the bump and the baby will recognise your voice and remember your voice from in the womb, and it'll be calming to them. So I used to talk to the bump, and there's a song that I love it to this day. It's Bob Marley, Don't Worry About a Thing, and I mean, I played that song whilst I had chemotherapy. Every day I played that song. It got me through a lot, and it still does. And I played that to my daughter on a daily basis, I think, and sung it to her while she was in her mum's tummy. I think a bit of that was out of fear that something might go wrong and I wouldn't ever get that chance to bond with my child, so I wanted to try and bond as much as I could before she was even born. Everything went exactly to plan with the pregnancy, and yeah, the fear was always there. Never brought it up, locked it away. To be honest, I kind of never let it creep into my thoughts. Somehow we both hid that fear the whole way through. In fact, I still to this day think I carried fear and things to do with that, because we never actually dealt with it or talked about it. So if I can advise you with one thing out of everything, it's talk. Talking is the best way. You need to get it off your chest. Anyway, it finally came to the due date and she was not ready to come out yet. We ended up having to wait 2 weeks, and then my partner and me, we went in and my partner had to be induced. That, when they explained it to me, what I pictured in my head freaked me out. I was terrified for my partner, but it wasn't as bad as what I thought, and they did the procedure, and we got to go up and walk around the hospital and stuff, and it takes a while. So in the evening, my partner started to go into like proper labour, having contractions and stuff, and yeah, the baby was on the way. At first, everything was going as it should have been, and everything was fine. Then all of a sudden my partner was doing the gas and air, and she started hyperventilating, and she passed out. So I just jumped up and I sort of grabbed hold of her head, and I was saying her name, and I was like, listen to me, I know you can hear me, just copy me, do what I do, breathe like I do, in, out, like you see on TV and stuff, and if you go to birthing classes to teach you about breathing techniques and stuff. So I went into that and just went into autopilot, thinking something's gonna happen, we're gonna lose the baby and my partner, and there's so much rushing through my head. I sort of suddenly thought that I was a midwife, and I was there, and I remember my partner had hold of one hand from over the other side of the bed. It's hard to explain without doing it, but I had my leg up on the bed and she was pushing against my hand. I remember thinking, whoa, like, where's this strength coming from? And yeah, the bed was moving because I had one leg on the floor, and but I had hold of her leg, and she was pushing, and I could see the baby coming, and it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. She did amazing, and then she came, and the head came out, and that's when the midwife suddenly jumped back in and stopped me, because I was telling her the head had come out, keep pushing, and they said, no, stop, whoa. Then the midwife sort of lined my door up, and out she came. This amazing gift, miracle. I think I was completely in shock from what I'd just seen and done, and the reality of what was actually going on. So at 10:48, we became the proudest parents of the most beautiful and amazing little angel. Unfortunately, my partner started bleeding a lot, and I started panicking and stuff, and they said that they were going to have to give her stitches. And then the nurse turned around and said, do you want to do skin-to-skin contact? And she hadn't even finished, and I ripped my shirt off. I was like, yeah. And I ended up holding my baby daughter, lying skin-to-skin on my chest, and I sort of couldn't move. Sat in the chair next to my partner, and I just sat there, and I don't think I blinked. My partner, bless her, I don't know why I'm doing that. My partner, bless her, she was so strong, and they stitched her up. She was fine. It was quite nasty, but they sorted it all out, and she was fine. Then the midwives left the room, and I'd just been sat there frozen like I was, but I don't know whether I even took a breath. I was in shock. I could feel my daughter's heart beating through my chest, and it was just amazing. But I said to my partner, my arms were shaking, and I said to my partner, do you think I can move? Because I genuinely thought that I might break her if I moved. So I just stayed perfectly still. That did make my partner laugh, and she said, of course you can move. So I sort of moved around, and then I gave her back to her mum, and they had some skin-to-skin contact as well, and I won't explain that actually, but yeah, she did all the natural things that you do when you have skin-to-skin contact with the mother. It was just all amazing and beautiful. I can remember being totally overwhelmed with this feeling of being so happy, and like finally things were turning out okay, and they were finally going in my favour. I had my my partner, my daughter, and my health was the best it's been in 4 years' time. So I was over the moon. Everything was just going amazing. It was like a dream come true, and I think I pinched myself just to see that it wasn't a dream. So the midwives came in and they measured my daughter, weighed her, and everything was perfect. Then they put her in the little baby grow that we brought with us and put her in a sort of little incubator next to her mum. And I mean, by this point it was sort of 2 o'clock in the morning, and my mum sat outside in the car waiting for me to give me a lift home. And the midwife said, "I'll tell you what, because it's quiet, do you want to let your mum know she can come up and meet her granddaughter?" I called my mum, and it seemed like I hung up and she came through the door, but she was just over the moon. We were looking over over my daughter, and my mum worked in childcare and stuff, and she knows a lot about the child development and things, and for like helping develop speech and that. Apparently it's good to poke your tongue out. So me and my mum are leaning over the cot thing, going to this newly born baby. Who must have been thinking, what are these things doing? So anyway, I had to leave the hospital, and my partner stayed, so I got a lift home with my mum, and I walked in the flat and I just went and sat down on the sofa, didn't turn any lights on or anything, and I just sat there in shock, thinking, I'm actually a dad. I've beaten the odds again after getting testicular cancer, then secondary brain tumours and 2 weeks to live, and then the chemotherapy not working, and managing to get it again, then it working, then, you know what I mean, miscarriage, then having my daughter. My mind was completely blown, in a good way, but it was completely blown, and I just sat there in shock, really, until it got light, and then I could get a taxi to the hospital to go and pick up my partner and our amazing, beautiful baby girl. Oh, a miracle. I still remember the feeling of walking out of the hospital holding the car seat with my daughter in it, and I was walking so proud. And yeah, we got a taxi home to our flat that was all ready for my daughter to come home to. It was just, it was really surreal, but just the best feeling ever. I think I'm going to leave it here for this week's video. I truly hope and pray that this vlog will give hope to everyone who watches it. It's not over yet either. There's still a few more ups and downs to come, but it does end on a good note. Thank you all so much for watching. If you could hit the thumbs up and leave a comment below, that'd be amazing. And I'll see you all in next week's video. Until then, remember, stay strong in here as well, yeah? Peace out, everyone. Lots of love.